And here we start our first professional fight of the evening. We got the Samurai Guerrero, Emmerson Guerrero, fighting out of Shoot the Box. Coach Cyborg Santos is going to be working as his head coach tonight. Guerrero, 20 years of age.
Cyborg fresh off that injury. Didn't he get like his skull smashed in?
Yeah, his last fight, he had a horrible fracture on his forehead.
Yeah, that was
got a flying knee to the head in his fight in Bellator against MVP. But looking strong today.
Yeah, he's wearing a hat anyways. I would think if your head's crooked, you can't wear a hat. So I'm glad that he's wearing a hat. That was. We go through some scary injuries in this sport, man. That's a scary one. I've never seen somebody's skull cave in like that. The guy's a warrior.
Emmerson Guerrero is from Nicaragua. He spent the last 2 years here in Houston. Very friendly guy. He was very, confident in his ability when we spoke yesterday. This will be his second fight of the year. His last fight was at the last Fury Fighting Championship. He was undefeated as an amateur. He had 3 amateur fights in Nicaragua. Has aspirations to make it one day to the UFC, trains every day. He likes the ground, but he's looking to do a lot of striking in this fight.
Christian Lira is a pretty good wrestler. Trains at ACS. I never got the whole banner thing for amateur fighters. I don't really think it's necessary.
Hey,
you got one fight and you're putting up a banner. I mean, I guess you're promoting yourself.
Well, you know what?
I never did it.
Whatever they can do to get their name out there. And here we have Christian Lira, 25-year-old, fighting out of the lab in Katy. Head coach Richard Burmaster. He's a southpaw. In a perfect scenario, he says this fight would end in a submission or ground and pound in the second round. This will be Lira's first professional fight. He had 6 amateur fights. He went 5-1. And this is going to be his second fight of the year. His last fight was in March. He's fought for the 125-pound title.
I think he used to train at ACS with Drew Radicek. Now I guess he's out there with Richard Burmaster and Katie at the lab.
So we were speaking of our last fight being a 3-day notice. Emmerson Guerrero is taking this fight on a 3-week notice. And so when speaking with Christian Lira about his preparation for his upcoming fight, he said the most difficult aspect was training for one style of fighter. 3 weeks out from the fight, his opponent drops out and he has to train for a whole different style of fighter. And that can be difficult at times. How would you deal with something like that, Jace?
I mean, it's difficult at times, but at an amateur level, that stuff happens all the time. At pros, it happens less, but it happens. Oh, no, this is a pro fight, actually. So, yeah, I mean, that can be tough, but, I mean, it's part of the fight game, I guess, I mean, you have to be ready for all different styles. 3 weeks is good enough time to game plan for somebody, I think. 3 days now.
I definitely agree with you on there.
The following contest is scheduled for 3 rounds. And the Fury FC is a catchweight fight. 135. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall and weighted to 130 pounds. Representing Team Cyborg, this is Emmerson Guerrero.
I've seen Christian Lira fight a couple times. He's a pretty tough kid. Good wrestler.
He stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall and weighted to 127 pounds.
But he can punch too. He's got some power.
Representing Athletic Performance Lab, this is Christian Lira.
Referee J.J. Ferraro will begin this bout, our first professional bout of the evening, between Christian Lira and the Samurai Guerrero is officially on. We got southpaw versus conventional. Christian Lira says he likes to stand and throw down, but he's ready for anything. He's ready to go to the ground if it goes there.
Guerrero loads up on a big head kick. Needs to set those up a little bit more.
Guerrero is a black belt in judo. He's trained judo for 8 years.
Nice. Big right hand.
Says his favorite technique is to Kochi Garuma.
He gets taken down there. Lira's a pretty good wrestler, like I said. He needs to get that foot off his hip.
We saw some elbows there from Guerrero from the bottom. Lira working hard to pass on top.
You know what? This is going to be a good fight, I think. Lira's a guy who's got a good gas tank. He goes hard. And the kid on the bottom, Guerrero's mean.
Yeah. As
You know?
far as conditioning, Lira trains out of the lab
Nice
in Katy,
stand-up.
where they do a lot of strength and conditioning. One of the best.
Yeah, you can tell he's strong, but this kid's also strong. Oh, nice reversal.
Nice transition by Guerrero on top into the mount position. 20-year-old Lira showing poise for a young fighter. Wants to get back on the right track, even out his professional record, because as it currently stands at 0-1.
Good recovery there. He's scrambling, but he's not doing really technical
Lira-
jiu-jitsu.
Lira is just throwing bombs from on top.
That's Guerrero. Guerrero on top. Lira's getting
By
hit on the
mistake,
bottom.
Guerrero throwing bombs from on top and misses with a high kick.
Yes.
Lira working for the back.
Lira's got that body lock, pushing him up against the fence. He needs to be careful here, keeping his hips so far away with a good judo guy. He will get thrown. Good knees. Looks like he's going to step
Lira
across.
hurt.
just
I believe he
rushed
hurt
down.
Lira with that knee. Guerrero looking for the finish. Lira in deep trouble now. I believe that body shot really affected him. Can Lira recover from that body shot? Guerrero trying to put pressure to stop him.
Yeah, he's definitely hurt. He's moving. He's hanging in there. This kid on top is mean. This Guerrero kid, you know, he's got that mean streak. And
Yeah,
He
fighting
wants to
out of
hurt
Shooter
you.
box and having
Yeah.
a legendary coach as Cyborg Santos as your head coach, yeah, I would think you'd pick up a couple of experienced moves, mean techniques, put pressure on your opponent. Lira survives. He was able to, he was in a bad spot there for a little bit. I believe he was affected by that knee.
he's eating some dirty knees here, though. This kid's staying busy, you know, and Lira's, he's hanging out in bad spots. He's hurt.
And
He's
I believe
hurt.
we're going to
It's
see a
over.
stoppage here. Referee
nice.
JJ Ferraro puts a stop to this fight. And Emmerson Guerrero evens out his record, now standing at 1-1 with a TKO victory in the first round. Nice backflip, too.
I always think it's funny when the guys do the backflip and they don't have the legs and they end up landing on their head. It's like, makes me laugh.
You're sick, man.
I know.
No, actually, I've laughed at those myself, but luckily, Guerrero had the athletic ability to land back onto his feet,
Yeah.
fired up from that awesome display
Super
of
athletic
intensity.
kid. Yeah, super athletic kid. You know, never was stagnant in any position. Constantly stayed moving, even when he got taken down. And his athletic ability really showed when Lira went for that takedown, and he ended up on bottom because Guerrero just reversed him right away. That was the beginning of the end, really.
Emmerson the Samurai Guerrero, age 20 years old. We're probably going to be
Man,
seeing a
yeah.
lot of Emmerson here in the future.
What's his record?
Now he was 1-1 as a professional. He had 3 amateur fights in Nicaragua.
He's tough. He's really tough. I think he's got a future. He's only 20, man.
He's been living here in Houston for the past 2 years.
Get with the right guys. And
Ladies and gentlemen, the end
Sky's the
comes
limit.
2 minutes, 49 seconds into round number 1 for your winner by TKO, Emmerson Guerrero.